Here's a look from a water spout earlier today sent in by a viewer over Cape Romano. So that is near Marco Island. So we do have some brief rotation over water. That's what a water spout is. And that's because we did see some strong storms earlier today. We've had some reports of winds gusting in the upper 40s near 50 miles per hour already. So you can see the storm from earlier that was reported at around near 5 o'clock this afternoon. So a lot of that activity beginning to weaken, but we're still left behind with some moderate to light rain along Marco Island there. Not as much lightning strikes as earlier, but just a couple to count you off there. So we still have that light to moderate rain. The green's the lighter side, the yellow's a little bit more moderate, continuing to push off in the northwesterly direction. So we do have some relief for you over in Marco Island as we get closer to sundown. So it won't be a complete washout this evening for you. Different story inland as we take a look from Immokalee over into Golden Gate, even Moorhaven. That's where we do have some more moderate to widespread rainfall continuously also working its way in a northwesterly direction. So we're not going to see much in the way of a break anytime soon. So we're going to hold on to this for the next couple of hours near sundown. So let's take a look though off towards our beaches, also dealing with the light to moderate rain along Fort Myers Beach down into Bonita Beach, also near Sanibel, Cativa, Punta Rasa Bridge there, also into Pine Island where we are dealing with that rain. No thunderstorms reported along that area. We're not looking at much in the way of lightning strikes. Also not noticing too much lightning over downtown Fort Myers, extending all the way up to Caloosahatchee near Tice, all the way into Olga, Alva. We do have some moderate to light rain still pushing its way off towards a northwesterly direction still, so heading over towards North Fort Myers and also passing into Babcock Ranch. So Charlotte County, you did have a little bit of a dry period. Now that's coming to an end as we do have some of that rain starting to creep its way up from the south. So we will see that entering into Charlotte County, Punta Gorda first, passing over the Peace River into Port Charlotte, then even working its way into the Cape Hayes Peninsula. So if you are heading out on this Sunday evening, keep the umbrella close by for that. So it's still going to hold on to the chance for some more thunderstorm activity as we go on for this evening. Near sundown, we're going to see a little bit of a relief from the widespread rain, so a little bit more isolated past sundown. But some neighborhoods already almost up to 2.5 inches of rain have fallen, so we could still see some ponding on the roadways. For this evening, hold on to the umbrella. As I mentioned, temperatures holding into the 70s. Scattered rain and storms still in the forecast. Closer to 8 o'clock, not as much widespread activity, so back to isolated rain areas. And as we get closer to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, still holding on to a few isolated rain areas as well. Overnight should be rather quiet and dry, but when you wake up tomorrow morning, we're going to see a few showers offshore, and then afternoon building in with some clouds, then some storms throughout the rest of the day for Monday. So we are going to see scattered rain and storms back in the forecast pretty much every single day here. Let's take a look in the Atlantic. Nothing coming off of Africa there. Caribbean Sea, very quiet. Gulf of Mexico, nothing expected to develop. The one area that we are watching, this wasn't really there yesterday, but as of this morning, this is a low area of pressure, very weak off the Bahamas there. So we are going to monitor this because watch what happens when we put this into motion with the models. It moves west, northwest, and it's going at 15 miles per hour, so we can't see that cross over the Bahamas as a very big rainmaker. And then a lot of the models do take this still out to sea as a front will approach in from the west, and that's going to kind of just drag it along with it away from us here in Southwest Florida. But of course, still some things can change over the next couple of days, so we're going to keep an eye on that as it does have a very low chance of developing. We're talking 10% over the next 2 days and 20% over the next 5 days. But let's take a look over the next 10 days here in Southwest Florida. The only big difference we could see if that comes closer to the state of Florida on the East Coast, waking up to a few early showers Tuesday and afternoon thunderstorms for the second half of the day. That pattern continues into Wednesday and Thursday. By Friday, back to normal with the storms for the late half of the day.
All right, thanks, Brooke.